For millennia, human seekers looked for the divine in the external world. They built altars and offered sacrifices, casting their search toward distant heavens and complex rituals, hoping to reach a sacred destination beyond the physical realm. The Upanishads eventually turned that search inward. They posed a different question. What if the sacred is the material of reality itself? Finding an answer required moving the gaze away from where things were located and looking closer at what they were made as. To explain the nature of the cosmos, the Chāndogya Upanishad uses the most ordinary objects of daily life. Consider the earth. A clay pot, a plate, and a tumbler appear to be three different things, but each is a specific shape taken by the same substance. The sages called this Nāma-Rūpa, or name and form. We hollow out a lump of clay and assign it the name of pot, but the material itself remains earth, regardless of the label we apply. Gold follows the same logic. A jeweler can melt an intricate necklace and forge a ring in its place. While the necklace disappears, every grain of the gold survives the transition. Iron, too, can be forged into a pair of scissors, an axe, or a sickle. We give these tools different names based on their utility, but the essence of the iron remains untouched by the forge. These examples establish a universal rule. Forms are temporary and constantly shifting, but the underlying substance is eternal and unmodified. The diversity of the world is a categorization of names. Beneath those labels lies a singular material unity. The Chāndogya Upanishad elevates the logic of clay and gold to a cosmic scale with a central declaration, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Early interpretations often translated this as all this is Brahman, which suggests that every individual separate object in the universe is independently a piece of the divine. However, the original intention of the sages points toward an interconnected wholeness rather than a collection of separate fragments. This distinction relies on the word sarvam. Here, linguist Jan Gonda defines it as completeness or totality rather than a sum of parts. This totality encompasses the universe while remaining in the small lotus of the heart, holding subject and object together. They were recognizing a universe that is incapable of being divided into parts. This perspective differs from Pantheism, which identifies God with the universe in its fragmented, diverse state. Pantheism relies on the assumption that the names and forms we see are absolute realities rather than temporary appearances. The non-dual perspective views individual objects as temporary expressions of a single underlying wholeness. They have no independent existence outside of that field. The visible world acts as a mask of diversity, hiding the singular substance beneath. To ground this philosophy, we can look to the natural world. Imagine a perfectly still lake reflecting the sky. In that moment of stillness, the reflection appears as real as the sky itself, with no clear boundary between the two. When a sudden disturbance hits the surface of the water, that single clear image fractures into 1,000 unrecognizable shards. The diversity of our world is a distortion of a single, untouched reality, much like that shattered reflection on the water. Recognizing the ultimate truth does not require us to deny the physical world. It requires us to recognize what its substance actually is. Names and forms change and eventually disappear, but the wholeness supporting them is eternal. If every object and every name is Brahman, it leaves us with one final inquiry. If all this is Brahman, what is not?